my Gunderson, 2 cans of Rockstar and 2 beautiful Rockstar models. You know what that means? The 2020 Rockstar Energy Snowcross Championships. Today it's the Royal Distributing Cup from Innisfil, Ontario. We've got 2 pro classes coming at you, Pro Lite and the Pros. There will be some snow churning, high-flying, amazing snowmobile racing. Are you buckled up? This is Rockstar Snowcross. Here we go. Mark Travers and Brian Koss are in the booth as we get set to bring you Pro Snowcross Racing. Today's racing will be brought to you by FXR, Apparel Race Division and Factory Ride. And of course, Royal Distributing, Canada's power sports leader. Brian, let's move away from the Lindsay track we saw last week and get to the Georgian Downs racetrack in Innisfil, Ontario, on board with Mitch Cook and the Scene on helmet cam. Brian, detail this track for us.
Beautifully groomed right now, Travs. You can see these jump faces. Double, pretty gnarly rhythm section here. Rider up front is Yannick Boucher. We can see Yannick doubling here where Mitch is just singling here on the sight lap. Now the spectator gallery, a nice big double, and the second knoll is a triple. So in race conditions, some of these riders may be tripling. A little knoll there, another double as they come into this left-hander, and I like this last little knoll to set up for the turn. It's going to cause a lot of havoc and a lot of passing opportunity.
It's going to make for some great racing today, Brian. Let's get to the standings in the Pro Light class. Polito out front first, Walkler, Malou, and Stewart, your top 5. Things are tight in there, though, Brian. A lot of points that you can gain on a race weekend. We see our Pro Light riders coming out of staging. They have already done their sight laps. Super important, getting used to the track the way it is right now. But it's go time, Brian. The rope is across.
I love this time of day. Riders making final adjustments. Ladies and gentlemen, cinch up that chin strap. We're going racing.
Welcome back to Innisfil, Ontario, and Georgian Downs. What a racetrack. This is the Royal Distributing Cup, Rockstar Energy Snowcross. Mark Travers and Brian Koss are in the booth as we get set for the Pro Light final. Brian, I love the Pro Light racers. They're the young riders. They're the ones that want to get out there and bang bars, and it is going to be dynamite on this track. The one thing I've noticed, this track is very difficult. That rhythm section on the highway side, very tricky.
It's going to create some carnage as this race day progresses. This Pro Light final brought to you by FXR Factory Race Apparel Jobs, and a lot of our riders wearing that beautiful FXR gear. Nice shot of last weekend's winner, Jack Polito, right on the inside. Let's see if that is the whole shot pick.
Racers now sucking up, getting their weight forward, and there's Mad Mike. He looks quite magic to me, Madden. And we go green, coming to that first corner. Who's going to get that whole shot?
Wow, it looks like the rider from Innisfil, Cale Firth, had it. Bunch of riders on the outside, but it is the London recreation rider of Taylor Stewart. Big hole shot for Stewie.
Interesting part about the start, Brian, is they only use that section once, and then they cross over when they come through lap 1. So Stewart's out front, Walkler on the inside through the grandstand section. It looked like Heikkinen, and with a great start in third on that Arctic Cat.
Yeah, he was impressive last weekend in Lindsay as well, and struggling a little bit out front is Stewart, getting sucked out into that soft outside cushion. Bit of a split lane here too. Looks like the second place rider, Walkler, very smooth. He made that nice pass on Heikkinen as we come up to the front rhythm lane. Left-hander. Front 3 starting to gap. Looks like Firth there on the 140 sitting fourth.
I saw Polito a few spots back. Right there he is right there. He had a terrible start. He actually was off the track, so that inside gate pick didn't turn out well for him. But you know this kid is fast. Man, is he tiny on the sled, so he can really utilize all the power in that sled.
He's having a peek. Make sure the coast is clear. Gets a nice move. Gets back on the gas on that Polito Ford Lincoln Skidoo. Nice and smooth landing here. He's oh wow, big
colossal crash, Brian, on that part of the track that we talked about, that rhythm section. Yeah. Extremely difficult.
Wow, glad both riders look like they're up and moving, so that opens the door for the rest of the field to move up a bit. The race is continuing. It's a local yellow there, the 712 of Philip Norris involved. Here's the slow-mo replay. Polito is a man on the mission right now. He wants to make some passes, so he is on the gas. Norris is slowing him down. He gets his ski right there under the tunnel, upsets Norris, and up ends Polito totally. Everyone is out of harm's way and up and back on the sled, so remarkable athleticism here from these young riders. Zach Polito, though, not the way to gain points for his championship hopes.
Interesting note, though, Brian, if you can get away from the sled in a crash like that, you're going to be probably good just tumbling and rolling, and that's what happened in that scenario. As we get back to our leader, the number 556 of Stewart, and he is on that London Recreational Racing coming in and lapping the number 69 of Scott.
Great lead for Stewart. Now let's get back to the 139 of Walkler. He got second last year in the championship by only a couple of points from Lightfoot. Of course, Lightfoot going up to pro. So Walkler, no stranger to the podium at 15 years of age. Fast rider putting pressure on our leader.
This is a much easier track to get by lap traffic, though, Brian. So an interesting scenario for Taylor. You see him using those wide lines and a lot of speed to carry to get around, because a lapper can cause problems in tight corners. No problem for Stewart right now.
Yeah, that's a great point, Travis. We can see Walkler now. He's got to get through the roost zone of the lapped rider on the inside. Little touch and go here through that corner. You get on the gas too early and you can high side it. So these riders are very tender on the throttle.
Walkler's through safe, and Stewart just totally saw Scott as he came through that corner. That has to hurt. Okay, the battle right now is for the lead. We've got the number 556 of Stewart on that Skidoo in the lead, and Walkler, the 139, great line for him. He's super aggressive. You're seeing that right now.
Yeah, he's definitely fast on that Arctic Cat. He's got the inside here on Stewart. Stewart goes wide on that London Recreation Machine, able to stay on the track on the high side of the cushion. Walkler making a move, eats some roost, crisscrossing, getting out of that roost zone, keeping that visibility clear. These riders are just taking a pounding on that back rhythm, Trav.
I thought I saw the 140 of Firth getting into the mix, so it looks like he's starting to close the gap. We might have a three-pack for the lead. Interesting note, though, Stewart is riding wide lines, and I like that because this track, it seems to suck the horsepower out on that inside line. I like those wide carrying speed lines.
Stewart's got a fair bit of experience. He really knows how to handle that snow machine. Walkler is all eyes right now at the front, looking for any chink in the armor from Stewart, and the danger man Firth on the 140 trousers making his presence known. Of course, Firth just lives about 5 minutes from this track, just over the 400 highway. We have a three-pack for the podium.
We got a rider down the 589 of Polito. This is his second crash of the day, Brian. He was in that big tumble early on. So our leader in this series is now having double issues in this race, and it looks like he may not finish. He was off of his sled. Stewart getting through that yellow flag situation, still comfortable in the lead.
Wow, double jeopardy for Polito. He was making a great comeback, picking off riders, getting some points, and now all for naught, as it's all eyes on our lead battle. We've got that London Rec Machine of Stewart. Seems to have pulled out a little bit there after that yellow zone.
The 140 Arctic Cat of Firth has made up a ton of ground as we see Stewart getting his last lap flag. I think what's happening is Stewart's defense has slowed the pack down and has allowed Firth to come up and make this a three-pack for the lead, as we see Polito still having some issues in that tight left-hander. The Rockstar team official out there getting his sled off the track. We are on our last lap, Brian. Things are hot in this Pro Light class.
And Walkler just ate a whole face full of roost. It looks like things have settled down now. It looks like this is the way we're going to finish coming into the checkers. What a great ride for Taylor Stewart. He is still on the gas there, getting the checkers. Yeah, he is pumped.
The 556 of Stewart on that London Recreation Racing Skidoo gets his first win of the season, and you know he's pumped. He got the whole shot led wire to wire, and his team has to be super pumped. Here comes Walkler with a little congratulations. Great ride out there for those two amazing combatants. Now let's get to our top 10 in the Pro Light final here for George and Downs. It was an absolute beauty, carnage all over the place. Of course, Stewart, Walkler, Firth, and Ruff, your top four. Jenkerson was fifth. And we look down the list at Norris, Scott, Polito, and the 303 of Kiernan with issues in 10th. Foul.
All right, the Rockstar Arctic Cat of Cale Firth, local rider, coming in third. A tough battle out there. You fought hard for it.
Oh, yeah, man. I came off the side of the track, off the start. I had the start, but I got hit off the side of the track, came to a dead stop, came back on the track nice and safe. But, yeah, I really had to, push for that podium spot. And, yeah, it was a hard race. Chose some good lines, and yeah, that's what got me here.
15-year-old sensation Cameron Walkler Cameron out here racing semi-pro with guys a lot older, and man, second place, you got to be pretty pumped.
Yeah, it's pretty good to get up here on the box again. Just been trying all year, and luck hasn't really gone in our way, but this track really favored to me. Just got to pound through the sections, get through them smooth, and you'll end up on top.
Pro Light winner Taylor Stewart, a lot of confidence out there on the track, a lot going on. You had your work cut out for you, kid.
Yeah, I managed to get a decent start, and I knew all the guys behind me were quick, so just found some good lines out there and just tried to stick through it the whole race.
To the points in the Pro Light class, let's look at it. Top 10. Polito still up top, but Firth and Walkler are closing up. Stewart is right behind him. And then we move back to our bottom 6 riders. Still lots of racing left as we go to the 2020 Pro Light Championship. Uh-oh, look who's on the line. The big boys. This is the Pro class. They've already come in from their sight lap, and they are ready to go. Lined up from qualifying positions. This is going to be an absolute bar burner. Who's going to win the Pro Final? This is the Royal Distributing Cup Rockstar Snowcross. Welcome back to Innisfil, Ontario, and the Georgian Downs Racetrack. This is the 2020 Rockstar Energy Snowcross Championships, the Royal Distributing Cup. Mark Travers and Brian Coster in the booth as we get set for the Pro Final. Brian, I can't wait to see these big machines out on the track. They were dynamite in their heats today, but this one is going to be spectacular because this is for all the marbles. Let's get to our standings in the Pro class. McCoy is leading right now. Waugh is in second place, and Weir is in third. That's a great little battle, but Taylor's right in the mix as well. Papen and the rest of the boys have got some work to do, but it looks like that top 5 is nice and clustered, Fabs.
Thanks, Travs. Looks like we have the 820 on screen. That is Dylan Barnett on the Ski-Doo. Fast rider in the Pro class. There is McCoy, a threat. Boy, oh boy, we saw him take that win last weekend, but can Weir answer those questions for victory?
Right now, Weir needs a win, Brian, because it's a short season and every point is so important, and you never know when there could be a catastrophe out on the track, so you've got to get up there and win every single time. This is a great place to watch racing, Brian, because you can sit in the grandstands on the inside or you can line the fence, and there are fans all over the place. This Pro Final today for Georgian Downs will be brought to you by Royal Distributing, Canada's power sports leader.
And yeah, Royal Distributing actually has a store just moments away from this facility, so pretty handy if anyone needs a part or some last-minute goodies to get over to Royal.
And the cool thing about this track is that it races parallel to the 400 highway. There's Magic Mike getting all mad, pointing, and we go green, Brian, coming to that first corner.
Riders using different techniques, some leaning back, some sitting forward. There's Weir. Looks like Weir's got that hook on RJ Roy on the outside, making his presence known for a second weekend in a row. But it is our previous and defending champion on the Arctic Cat, J.P. Weir, with a nice hole shot.
And he looks fantastic in that Royal Distributing FXR gear. But how about the 14 of Waugh on that Polaris? Again, we talked about how much smaller of a sled it is, but that kid really knows how to work it through those corners. Super nimble.
Yeah, he's an aggressive rider. Weir, though, where he needs to be to control the race, just keep filling RJ with Roos. They're starting to gap a little bit. That looks like it could be Billings up in the third place spot right now.
You're right, Fabs. Billings in third. Then we've got Parnell, Taylor, and McCoy with a nice little cluster. And this left-hander is an absolute beauty. Billings on the inside. Oh, and here comes the 21 of Taylor.
Blake Taylor from Orangeville, Ontario makes a quick and decisive move into third place. The 186, Justin Parnell with a whole lot of years out of the snowcross scene, coming back. Been about 5 years, and Parnell in the top 5 as we see Billings just take a face full of it.
Oh, he just got totally sauced. And then right behind him, he's got McCoy on the wide side, so he's into it right up to his neck.
Yeah, Billings riding really well. He's from Barrie, Ontario, so just up the street has Jakey. Poetry in motion, this kid. He is just gorgeous to watch, but he's got a hard-charging RJ Roy right there. Billings getting this way and that into the left-hander, giving Parnell in the 186, an opportunity. Oh, we got riders down. Looks like the 399 of life, and it's McCoy, last week's winner.
Brian, we've been talking about that highway rhythm section and how difficult it's been all day. A lot of flat landing and casing those jumps. Finally, it takes some prisoners in this pro final. And look at Jake Weir just really massaging that outside line on that left-hander after the finish line. Gorgeous. But the number 14 of Waugh is actually riding a terrific race, Brian, because he hasn't made a stab yet, but he's right in the zone, watching lines, looking for opportunities. That's exactly what you want to do.
Oh, is he ever? I mean, a little bit of breathing room for Jake right now. His mechanic, James Farrington from RJ Motorsports, always got a handful of wrenches and just tuning this thing. And a lot of variables between races as the track changes, the clutching, and we're just dialing that last section there. And just love the way they've done that fluorescent coloring on that sled. The FXR Royal Distributing Machine looking good out front.
How about a little bit of racecraft, Brian? There's some places on this track where there are opportunities, like that triple in front of the grandstands. Mid-race, none of these riders are doing it. They were doing it earlier, though, and you could make up some ground with that triple.
Oh, big time, but the faces get worn out as the race develops, so riders taking it a bit easy there. That is the jump there where they were actually tripling. Now we're pulling it out just a bit. He's got a little breathing room, but RJ is focused ahead. Definitely one of the fastest riders on the track if you look at the stopwatch. We are the danger man. Back to the battle for 5th and 6th. That's the 820 of Dylan Barnett on that Polito Ford. He's got Billings right there having a strong ride. A little bit of touch and go here, and then Parnell on the 186. He's got a great seat for the action.
That roost, if you're in too close, is like getting a face punch, Brian. It's absolutely ridiculous. Look at Barnett on the wide side, taking abuse and punishment. Billings with the inside line, still looking good. Oh, my goodness, hit the crossover. What a nice back for Barnett. That kid really knows how to work the sled in tight confines.
One thing about Barnett, he is not afraid, and this looks like his tenacity is going to pay off. He is not afraid to take a hit or a beating. Sometimes you're not always set up perfectly, but you just whip that throttle anyway, and it's a wink and a prayer and see if you can pull it out, and that's what I like about Barnett's style. Not always just set, but he gasses it anyway and then deals with it, makes it work.
Look at this, Brian. The lead is tightening. The number 14, Polaris, on that Huber Motorsports sled is gaining ground and now trying to put a stab in on the 459 of Weir. Interesting, last year when Weir got the lead, no one touched him. This year at this track, Waugh is keeping with him, and he likes that outside-inside line.
Well, RJ Roy had to ski right up under the snow flap. There he is on the inside.
Oh, my.
Stuffs him wide. And what a back. Wow, Weir has to back off there for own self-preservation. And look at just a wall of snow in Jake Weir's face. That has got to be demoralizing as these laps count down. RJ Roy, elbows up, and this kid is on fire. I love his style. What a ride for RJ Roy, Travis. Oh, that Pallerin.
Barnett up to 4th place, so he's having a strong ride coming back from a tepid start. Let's talk about that. Interestingly enough, though, if you think about Weir, we want to talk about confidence, Brian. He comes into the series confidence sky high. Now Roy is in the lead after hunting him down and passing him. I don't think this feels good for Jake Weir.
No, not at all, but hey, second is points preservation. Really impressed with the 21, though, of Blake Taylor. We haven't seen a lot of them because this battle has been so hot up front, but Weir has been rock solid there in 3rd. This is the pass here. Weir just gets a little bit up on the outside. Looks like he can close the door on the inside, but RJ Roy is right there to capitalize as Weir sets up to pin it for this next series of jumps. And you see a little look over for Roy. He's like, I'm just going to leave you a little room, but not quite enough to get your sled there.
That is a brash, bold pass, Brian, and I love seeing this type of race action out on the track. Weir's not going away, and we have a lot of racing left, so it's just setting up for a dynamite 2020 race season. And you know that Roy and Weir are on the gas because they just lapped Billings and Parnell, and they're running 5-6, so they're putting a lot of speed out in this track.
Oh, 100% they are. And these athletes train so hard in the off-season. They come on these sleds, and it is no picnic racing 15 hard laps on this track. It is a long race into the white flag or last lap. You can almost feel him thudding down there, slapping those skis. Looks like Weir is just giving up the ghost here and is settling into second, giving RJ a little breathing room to cruise in and take the checkers.
You talked about the thud, Brian. That's what it's like when you actually come see a race and you feel how heavy those machines are. And when they come slamming down off of a triple jump or a double jump, you feel it all over your body. What a great way to watch the racing right up on the rails as we see the number 14 Huber Sports Polaris of RJ Roy take the checkered flag and the pro final win here at Georgia Downs. What a race for that young stallion. He has got to be pumped.
Showing his racecraft on that 450-pound machine, dogging Weir the whole race, looking for lines, methodically picking his point to pull the trigger. We got the Rockstar girls in interviews next.
Welcome back to the 2020 Rockstar Energy Drink Snowcross Championships. This week, the Royal Distributing Cup from Innisfil, Ontario in the Georgian Downs Raceway. What a day of racing we had. Let's get to our top 10 in that pro final because it was a banger. RJ Roy was your winner. Weir in second. Blake Taylor with a dynamite ride and an early pass to get into third. Barnett in fourth and Parnell your top five. Billings just outside. Fabs, where are you?
From Orangeville, Ontario, Blake Taylor. Blake, what a ride out here, bud. In the pro class, there was a lot going on around you. Not much time for you to daydream out there for those 15 laps.
No, not much at all. The track is rough. You got to be really aware and just try to like hold my line the whole way, keep out of the way of the lappers, and just keep pushing the whole way. And it was a long race, 15 laps on a whoop section that's pretty gnarly, but we made it through and held on to the podium spot, so I'm pumped.
Current champ Jake Weir showing these boys some of the good lines, but maybe you showed RJ one too many of your good lines there.
Yeah, I felt pretty good out there. Then I heard RJ behind me the whole race, and my arms got a little tight, so I was trying to hang on. Then when he passed me, I was just trying to keep up, but then he was pulling away, so I just tried to settle down into second and just ride and have fun.
Pro winner at Georgia Downs on the Polaris, RJ Roy. RJ, fast all day, buddy, and you earned it out there. What a battle you had with last year's champ, Jake Weir, and you put on a sick pass.
Thank you. No, I finally got it close enough to throw it in there and was able to make the pass stick and then pull a little gap. It was nice. Definitely a lot better than a couple weekends ago in Lindsay. Wasn't able to get a start, and it's definitely nice to start up in like the second spot and then be able to battle with Jake. I mean, Jake's on fire. He's always has been on the gas, and definitely got to be up there with him right away to battle with him. So it was good. It was a fun race, and definitely happy to come in with the win.
Hashtag Legion of Bloom. I love it. Let's get to our standings in the pro class. Roy is your leader. We are right behind him in second place. McCoy, Taylor, and Barnett, your top five. Things are shaking up all over as next week we move to Ottawa for a back-to-backer. Fabs, what do you got for us?
Well, I got the info. You got to go to snowcross.com, find out where the race is near you. You got to get out to one of these to see it. Ottawa is going to be a burner, and it is at the casino, no less.
Nice job, Brian. You have been watching the 2020 Rockstar Energy Drink Snowcross Championships. Brought to you by FXR, Apparel Race Division and Factory Ride. And Royal Distributing, Canada's power sports leader. For Brian Costa, I'm Mark Travers. Special thanks to the whole Rockstar crew. And to close the show, let's take in a little side-by-side racing action. It is wheel-to-wheel UTV special. We'll see you next week in Ottawa.